The greatest thing in the world about being a sports talk show host is whenever a member of the military comes up to me and tells me how much they enjoy our show.
Yeah.
The idea that we can actually give a little bit of an entertainment respite to the people that are frighteningly more important than the rest of us is it is a wonderful feeling. And it is so humbling when it
Agreed.
When it happens. Well, this would have to rank right up there because not only is here a gentleman that is responsible for our freedom, but at the same time, we find out he listens to Doug and Wolf in the morning, and he does slightly more important things than we do every day. Senator John McCain joining Doug and Wolf here on Sports 620 KTAR. Senator, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How am I? I wonder if it's easier for Kobe to pick up fouls than most NBA players.
I think that's the same. I think you're right on the money there, Senator. Good morning.
It's very true.
The last couple, three, obviously look like non-fouls to me, but I'm just a sports fan. But that game, I think, turned on those fouls last night. But in all due respect to the tough job that the officials have.
Come on, Senator. You and I both know we need to start congressional hearings on David Stern and the officiating and throw in the draft lottery in there too, Senator.
I don't think we ought to do that, but he is a fantastic athlete. I take nothing away from him. I mean, it's incredible his abilities and his determination. But you just have a feeling sometimes when it's two or three fouls in a row that he gets a different brand of officiating. But I promise you, I am not trying to change anything in the NBA. And
I'm hoping you do.
No.
This series has been throughout has been great entertainment. Great entertainment.
You know, Senator, we're all kind of having a chuckle about that whole thing. But what do you think government's role should be in sports?
None. Really, except where, when I say none, stay out of it as much as possible. But you got to remember that the Antitrust Act exemption gave them the ability to do things that other businesses are unable to do as far as competition is concerned. It was done for practical reasons. You know what I mean? You don't want to. But at the same time, that does open the door for congressional involvement, as we tried to do to some degree with a little success on this whole issue of performance-enhancing substances, which has still not been resolved as far as professional athletics is concerned. Do you agree?
Oh, it's still prevalent, but I have to believe that it's getting better, and it has a lot to do with congressional involvement. And even though I was one of those people against it, it worked. I mean, yeah, we all want to see it get better, but wouldn't you say it's working yourself, Senator?
I think it's better. I really do think it's better. But I also think we ought to realize that in laboratories all over America and the world, there are people experimenting with substances that will keep them ahead of testing. And so there's always going to be, this fight goes on, and there's always going to be athletes that don't worry too much about their declining years. They worry about being able to make a lot of money as a professional. And I guarantee you we will just be one of those things where we play catch-up all the time.
Senator John McCain joining Doug and Wolf here on Sports 620 KTAR. Senator, speaking of antitrust exemption, that's actually one of the issues that's at the heart of the Coyotes bankruptcy court case on whether or not the league can block somebody, a regular businessman coming in, owning a team, and moving them where they want to, both as a Phoenician and a fan of sports in this area and as a senator. How do you look at the bankruptcy case of the Coyotes?
I'm saddened about it. I'm very saddened at the quality of play on the part of the Coyotes, which has led to an erosion of the fan base. You all remember when they first came and the enthusiasm when they were playing down at the downtown Phoenix, and when we were in the playoffs with Keith Tkachuk and what's our guy that went to Philadelphia? He's still playing.
Jeremy Roenick.
Jeremy Roenick. He was fantastic, and all white out in the desert and all that, and unfortunately the fan base is eroded. But look, I don't want them to go. I think that it's a sign that Phoenix, Arizona is a major league city when you have all the major franchises there. I'd like to see them not leave. But frankly, I don't know if congressional intervention is a way that, frankly, would be very productive. But I don't want to see him go. I think that Wayne Gretzky is one of the great athletes in the history of sport. I had the great thrill of meeting him one time, and I think he's just a great guy. I just wish we would. The moral of the story is, if you have teams that don't produce, after a while, the fans aren't going to turn out, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of congressional intervention, Senator, the NFL is probably staring down a labor dispute like maybe we've never seen before. And what is government's role in labor relations?
Again, if anybody can help mediate, if anybody can help bring the parties together, but it is a labor management problem. I'm also curious, as I know you guys are, about the effect of this economic recession that we're in. When you see all those empty seats in Yankee Stadium, you know that that's happening all over baseball, and it'll happen in other sports too. A lot of those suites that these companies, corporations, and law firms purchase, a lot of them are going to be empty because a lot of them aren't in business anymore. In fact, I think names of some stadiums are coming down and will come down. And I